actually
Yeah,
forward
yeah,
you
yeah.
the link. Okay, well, now we are recording, so fine. Okay, so let's go through your points here. Maintain different inventories at different facilities. Erpag has multiple warehouses. We don't support multiple companies within one Erpag account, but you can have many warehouses, which can be like your companies, because each of the warehouse has its own location, tax location, address, etc. So under administration, you have warehouse list, and this is where you will keep your facilities or locations. Each one that you open new will have its own, if you want, different inventory costing method. It can be either weighted average or first in, first out. However, this is important to be set up at the very beginning, because later on when you have inventory in that warehouse, you are not able to change that. So while the database is still empty, you are able to
Can,
actually change this. Yes? Did you
no,
just
no,
say
that's okay.
okay? So,
You were
oh,
break out.
okay. So let's say that we have here a description that will be like Sri Lanka, India, right? That's one of our warehouse, because I also have here the New Delhi and my main warehouse. Here is the address of the warehouse, etc. And this is the user authorization. That means that you don't have to allow each operator to have access to the warehouse. It can either be full access, read only, and denied. If it's denied, he cannot even see the items that are within the warehouse. So let's save this. So maintain different inventories at the different facilities. Your inventory, products, and service list. This is the list of all the
Is
items you have. Yes?
yeah, excuse me, can we customize that full access user rights,
Yes, of
which you
course. Yes, yes.
show us?
In the administration, users, admins have full access. There is no limitation to them. However, the operators, you go to add new and then you add an operator, they can have different user restrictions. You can turn them off and on, the warehouse permission, shelf permission, the sales, the purchasing, inventory. You can play around with different user authorization here.
Yeah, got you.
Okay,
Okay,
and
go
this
ahead.
is on, yes, and this is only for the operators,
Okay.
because admins have full access. Okay, so we will go back to our products and services. This is the list of everything that you have in stock for all warehouses. So that means everything conjoined together. However, if you go to your inventory and inventory stock list, this is a report and it's broken down into warehouses. So if you want to see your items in stock per warehouse, you would have to go to this report. See, it's broken down into warehouses, and currently we don't have anything in our last warehouse because it's newly opened. How do you get your items to different locations? Do you
So
receive them directly to that location and everything goes to one and then you do the transfer?
yeah, both way, both way.
Okay.
So one thing is
Both
one
way.
thing. Let's say we are giving access to a, let's say, location A, right? So those should not be have facility to view the other locations.
You want to
Means
limit
other
access to different locations?
Correct.
Yes, but I told you how
no
to
no
do that.
yeah, different warehouses actually.
Yes, I showed you how to do that. You have in the
Yeah,
warehouse list,
yeah.
you will just deny an operator or an admin, you will deny the view into that warehouse, and then they would see just their own, which is allowed.
Oh,
So
Okay.
yeah.
you do,
Okay.
yeah.
So let's say
Okay.
user A can have the access for the
Yeah.
warehouse A, B, and C. User B
Yes.
can access have to the D, E, and A, like that.
Yes,
We can.
and he can only sell from that warehouse, view the inventory in that warehouse, receive items to that warehouse, do everything from that warehouse only.
Good, good. Okay, great.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Let's go back to our inventory stock list. So this one is broken down into warehouses. You said that you have two ways of how you will get your items into stock. So here you have products and service list. As we said, this is for all warehouses. But if you are in this list and you want to see how much of items you have in stock, you can open the document and you see here on hand. This means how much quantity on hand do you have. But when you click on the info button, you can see how much you have in each warehouse. So this is the different way you can get to your inventory quantity to see where is actually what. Here we have nothing in our main, but 10 bags in our New Delhi warehouse. When it comes to product, you are dealing with fish as far as I've seen from the email, right? I just briefly read it, so I thought that I saw that we source live fish from various countries, right?
Correct. But
Okay.
we are not handling live fish from this system. So the
Okay, so what are you
peripherals,
handling from this
accessories,
system?
medications, medicals, gloves, and
Especially,
accessories.
yeah,
Okay, so can we stick with
active material.
medications? Can we just put medication as a product?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, no problem. No.
medication A. And how is this sold? Like in boxes of pieces, or how is it sold? What's the unit of measure?
Yeah, pieces is fine.
Okay, pieces. And
Okay.
you get this from your supplier, right?
Yeah, from the
Okay.
supplier.
Okay. Do you deal with one supplier for, well, let's say, medication A, or in case you can have like multiple suppliers?
Yeah, we will usually buy from multiple suppliers.
For multiple suppliers. Okay, in that
Yes.
case, do you see the fulfillment here? Fulfillment here means where do you get your items from. So you can switch for the basic products that you buy and sell. You are switching between a supplier and multiple suppliers. The difference is minor. In one supplier, you are able to add just one supplier for the medication A and enter its purchase price, for example. But in case of the multiple suppliers, you can just add more than one here. Okay, let's add, for example, 3 of them. Okay, and here you can add your shipping days. The shipping days are good because they will tell you when you create a purchase order, when is the expected date of the arrival of the item. So you will see when it will arrive to your stock. So let's say that this we will say like 1 day. Actually, let's put like this one day, 7 day, and 15 days. Okay, and based on your purchase price, you are forming your selling price. Your selling price here is the default one, but of course on the document level, you can give a discount or you can build a price tier. So when you sell it to your customers, the price can be changed automatically. And each product can be tracked by a serial or lot number. I think that I saw here expiry dates, expiry items, right? So because medications have expiry dates, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in that case, you will use lot numbers. Lot numbers have expiry days. We can have here different ways of setting it up, but since you are getting it from your supplier, you are literally retyping that lot number into the system and expiry date, so you will keep it as a manual entry. Here you can put the product image if that is important to you. You can also use the barcode for scanning in the barcode labels rather than inputting the items manually into the system. And I can see here under point 6 QR and barcode, right? So if you have your ENU PC, you probably have it on the pack of the medication, right? So you just need to position your cursor here of the mouse and scan in the barcode, or just manually enter that 13 code number. It's usually 13. Okay, but since I don't have it, I will just generate one. Is that fine?
Yeah,
Just for
we
you
need
to
to
system.
generate.
Okay,
So
so, oh, you need
yeah.
to generate it anyway. In that case, you just click on the plus button here and the system will generate the barcode. The type is EN13, or you can shift between the multiple ones. Okay, we will save this. And let's say that we can, sorry, forgot to do this. You can put here, I thought that I saw here, a reorder level for each item. Okay, so you can have here, we only have minimum stock quantity. That means that I can set up the minimum stock quantity for each one of these warehouses, right? So I can set up that I want to have, let's say, 200 of each in each warehouse, right? Okay, and save it. When your items are below the minimum, the system as it is now, right? We have 0 in stock and we have 200 as a minimum stock quantity in all 3 warehouses. This means that we actually have to order it. Erpag has a automatic fulfillment list which gathers everything that you don't have in stock in order either to fulfill the minimum stock quantity or to fulfill the sales order, right? So it's located here under purchasing and fulfillment. So as we can see here, we need to buy 200 to or 600 pieces for each one of the warehouses. It goes 200 to satisfy the minimum stock quantity. While this is from yesterday, it's a wallpaper roll, and it's ordered to satisfy the sales order, not the minimum stock quantity. See here, when we have multiple when you have multiple suppliers per product, you get to choose where will you get these items from. Here you have also the expected days, but when you click to open suppliers, you can see their purchase prices and their shipping days. And you just select here from whom you will order it, and the system will automatically change. So here, in order to order this, to place an order into the system, you need to check the boxes in front of each one, go to bulk action and purchase orders. Confirm it. If everything is okay, if you have the purchase price, if you have the supplier, you will be able to generate the purchase order. Otherwise, if you don't have a supplier, if you don't have the purchase price, the system will pop up a window and it will have a setup button, which will lead you directly to the item for you to set up that information. So you are going to purchasing and purchase orders. This is where the purchase orders actually landed. So we have here, these are from today, all these 3. Okay, so this is a medication A for our main warehouses. 200 pieces, right? So we receive it and we have to add our lot number. This is what we will retype. Otherwise, sorry, if you are having that barcode, you just need to click here when you are in the receive to ENUPC. Let's copy paste that barcode. Okay, copy. Okay, and let's pretend that I'm scanning it. I'm not pasting it, right? So I will go to Control V and see it found the item. So everything that you need to do is to scan this 20 times and see how he updates the quantity each time I hit enter. See there, quantity. And I will just add this to the document and I will retype manually that I got 20 pieces of the medication A. Now you have to assign your lot number. You will go to quick add because this is the new lot number that is coming to your stock, right? Unless you have it already in the system, then just pick it from the drop down menu. By going to quick add, the system will generate the lot number automatically, but I will put that this is lot number 2401 and the expiration date automatically it's given a year after today, so it's same day but to 2021, but of course you can move it to be, let's say, until 30th of September. Okay, and we will save it. This item is yet not in your stock. It comes to your stock. Sorry, this should be 200 pieces. I just remembered. You post the document, save it, and only now this items is in your stock. So if you go to your inventory and products and service list, see medication A. I did not refresh the list. There it is, 200 pieces. And we still have 200 pieces in our main warehouse and 0 in each other one. And we have also the awaiting quantity of 400 pieces for 2 of our warehouses. However, when you want to, for example, take a look what yet is not in your stock but it's ordered, you can go to purchasing and you have open purchase order report, and you see here that this is still expected to arrive if you don't receive it to your stock in this given date, this date will be highlighted in red to indicate you that this is not yet arrived. Okay, and here it is. In these two warehouses, we are receiving these two items. So purchasing, purchase orders. You can also receive partially this. So maybe you will just get 150 pieces. And let's say that this will be lot number 2606. Okay, and we will quick add it. So maybe you will just receive 150 today. In that case, the system will tell you that this is partially received. But whenever you go back to this document to receive more, the system will just offer you the rest of the quantity. So you don't have to do any calculation there. He will just offer you the rest. And we will put this into a different lot. Let's say 2303. Okay, and we will quick add it, and now everything is received. And from here you can generate your supplier invoice, give it a number that's on the document that you will get. And forgot to mention that each document can be sent directly through Erpag as an email if you connect your email account to this system. So you have here this mail button, you just go to mail and go to purchase order. The system automatically generates goods received note when you receive items to your stock. We can see here when we received 150 pieces and when we received the rest of the quantity. And you can also control your payments towards your supplier from Erpag as well, if that is something that you are looking for. And we only have to receive this one. This one is in our newest warehouse. So we will receive it to our stock and we will quick add, let's say 3101, and expiration date, we can leave it as 1 year. You understand the point. Okay, so we have now everything in our stock. So inventory stock list, we have medication A in all three warehouses. If you want to see the movement of the items, you can open that item, inventory products and services. You open medication A and you take a look at the stock card. This will just tell you based on each warehouse, based on which purchase order did you brought this to your stock. And when you sell it, when you transfer it, when you do anything with this, it will automatically run into this stock card, and the change will be recorded here in this list.
Maria, can you transfer 50 out of 200 to another location? So then we can see the real time.
Yes, of course. In order to pass item from one location to another, you have to use the transfer document. Transfer is located here under inventory and transfers. So you create a new one, you pick your source warehouse. So let's say we'll take New Delhi and you pick your destination one. We will pick Sri Lanka, India, okay? And you get your medication A, there it is, and you say 50 pieces, right? And you will save it. The system will run through the inventory to tell you whether you have enough quantity to move this to another warehouse. In our case, it's available. So once it's available, you can pack it, which will actually deduct items from the stock. But here, since you are dealing with batches, you need to select the lot number that you are sending. We have 50 of this lot number and 150 of this second one. So let's just get rid of this 50 ones. Pause the document. Okay. See, now if we go to our inventory products and services, medication A has 50 less, but 50 is also waiting in our second warehouse, in our New Delhi one. Okay, so by shipping it, you're shipping this over to your different warehouse. You can either use your shipment or add a carrier. The carriers are added under sales and carriers. If you use different, you said that you are using UPS and FedEx, right? But is that to end customer or between the warehouses as well?
No, not on the warehouses. It's for the end
Okay,
customer.
okay, okay. And once this is received to stock, the person from New Delhi warehouse logs into the system and clicks on the receive button to receive all 50 pieces to its stock. So now if you take a look at the movement of medication A, you can see in the stock card that you transferred over from New Delhi to Sri Lanka 50 pieces based on the transfer document 1. You see here minus 50, here it went 50 into the warehouse.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
Excuse me,
also
Maria. Is this system allowed to set some approval before the transfer? Like, let's
yes,
say
you can put, but if you put approval, you have to approve each document. It is done here under administration, localization, and here you have document validation. See, it's all rhymes, so it's easy to remember because it's like a poem. If you put the document validation as approved, everything needs to be approved by admin before that person who packs, who receives, will be actually able to have a button to pack the item for the transfer.
okay.
So you
Okay.
are doing that here. For example, let me just show you. If you have, let's do the sales. We did not do sales. Will you keep sales in Erpag as well?
No, we are not doing
No,
sales
no.
from this system. Yeah.
Okay, but how will you get rid of the inventory if you don't do sales? Because Erpag will manage your inventory. You need to remove the items from
Yeah,
stock somehow.
yeah. We use actually issue notes, not the sales order. We use these goods for internal purposes between inside our operation. So we
Oh,
usually
okay.
don't make sales orders to outside customers, just
Okay.
for our internal purpose. We
Okay.
call it issue note. Yeah.
Okay.
So
But
can we rename those things?
yes,
Can we
yes.
rename?
Mhm.
Yeah,
You
then
can
we
go
will
to
create it.
administration, you go to localization here, and you open it, you click on edit, and here you have translation. And you just need to find the built-in language, which is, for example, the sales order. Okay. And you rename it here to be the issue note.
Yeah, correct.
And
So
then
that
it
way
will
I
say,
can. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, if you want to print out the document to say issue note, you go to administration and you have document templates. You open the sales order, edit it, and here this is retypable. You can retype this sales order to say issue note. And then on the printout or when you send this document, it will say issue note instead of the sales orders. But since you have to get rid of the inventory somehow, and transferring documents gets rid of the inventory in one warehouse, but it's filling the second warehouse, right? And you have to like remove it. If you just do the transfers and you do purchasing to stock, like when you get it to satisfy either the minimum stock quantity or you get it just to fill your stock, it will always just increase the value. Let's say we will create a purchase order manually this time for our warehouse, let's say New Delhi one, and we will pick our supplier and we will pick our medication A. And let's say that we are taking 125 pieces, right? You are saving it and you are receiving it to your stock and adding the lot number here. Okay, quick add, post document. Okay, so when you do this, New Delhi also has inventory now, right? So by purchasing, you are just filling the stock more and more and more. By transferring items, you are decreasing stock from one warehouse and increasing in another one. But somehow you have to get rid of that stock. This is not all about just increasing the inventory. You have to get rid of it, right, as well, in order to follow your inventory levels. right? So I'm not sure. There are two ways when it comes to internal ones. We have also clients in the USA who just do internal ones. So there are two ways you can decrease the inventory in this case. You can either create a stock adjustment. Here you create it for the particular warehouse. Okay, let's say the New Delhi one, and you can put in the description that this is issued to, I don't know, let's say the Sri Lanka. Okay, but in this case, this is issued and written off, or issued to customer X, or however you want to.
Sections. So we are issuing for the sections. We
Oh,
say
so
section one.
from warehouse to a section.
Correct.
Okay, so to section 1. Okay, let's say like this. And you create medication A, and it will tell you your quantity is this one. How much are you sending over? Okay, we have 10 minutes left, but no worries. When it expires, I will send you a different Zoom link, because when it's multiple people at the meeting and not just two, the meetings are limited to 40 minutes. It's not us, it's Zoom. So we will decrease the inventory by 150, for example. That means that we sent, issued to section 1, 150 pieces, right? So we save it and we put a deficit here. Okay, we choose the lot number and post the document. And now we have new quantity in our New Delhi warehouse, which is 125 pieces. So one way is that you take the stock adjustment to remove the inventory. So you take a look at the stock card, and there it is, stock adjustment. However, I'm not a big fan of this, because you don't know to whom did you issue this. You have to go to stock adjustment 1 in order to see to which section this is actually distributed, right? So my preferred way in case of internal business is to create a virtual customer. Why would a customer have to be a real one, right? We can use the virtual ones. So we will create a new customer here, and we will call him section 1 and save it. Now, in order to issue this to section 1, you need to go through the sales order. But when you rename it, it will be here an issue note. It will say issue note. It won't say sales order. So we create a new issue note from our picked warehouse to sector. However, you take your medication, okay, and you say how many pieces are you issuing. Okay, save it. Okay, so now when I go to my sales order print, it should say issue note because I renamed it. Let's see, did it work? Yes, it works. So now it says issue note. The system, upon saving the document, goes through your SKUs, and you see whether you have this in stock or not. In our case, it's available quantity. We are full of medications. So once you pack it, you have to, of course, to select the lot number here. Okay, and once it's packed, it's out of the inventory, but you can also just do an invoice just in case to close the document, right? And now when you actually go to that item, inventory, products and services, and take a look at the stock card, you can see that this was actually issued to section 1. So this is why I prefer more to go through the sales order rather than the stock adjustment. It's easier to see the movement of the items. To whom did you issue it?
Got it. Yeah, that's easy. That's easy, I think. So can we use mobile phones just to scan the barcodes and issue the items?
Yes, when you have something to be transferred or issued, right?
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
create here a sales order from our main warehouse to section 1, and we will take our medication A, and let's say here 50 boxes, 50 pieces. Okay, and we will, I think I already have I copied already the ENUPC. So in the mobile application, you go to inventory, and it tells you here that you have to print it, that you have two available sales orders for packing, which means that you have enough inventory. So you have here medication A. When you click on the drop down, you can see from which warehouse are you packing this. So you open it and you have to pack this one. However, for the scanning of the barcode, you just tap on the camera button and it opens your screen and you just scan it in. But if I paste here my number, there it is. See, it automatically opened me this one, and that it's 50 pieces. So I will be quantity proceeded, and I will tap here to pack it. And everything that is packed through the mobile application, okay, 50
We
pieces,
don't have, I think, no? Okay.
quantity processed, 50 pieces. Oh, sorry, lot numbers, that's why. Okay, lot numbers, go back, pack it. There it is, it's packed. So everything that you do through the mobile application reverts in your database as well. See here, it's packed and it's ready for
Do we
shipping.
need to sales order for this application in order to use mobile app? Or can we?
Sorry, I can
So,
barely
no,
hear you. Can
I'm just
you?
saying that, yeah, I'm just saying, so the people, do we need to create sales order from the this web app
Yes.
to
Mhm.
prior
You
to
will.
the mobile app?
Yes, because the mobile app is more for inventory, just like packing, receiving to stock, etc. The sole entering of the documents happens actually in your desktop version.
Even for the transferring, we need to do the transferring from the desktop app, and
Yes,
then
as well. See, you can only create here. You can, or it will only be highlighted when it's ready to be packed. Everything from the documents needs to be created in the desktop version.
okay, that's okay. I
Okay,
just
and
asked.
for the mobile application, you have to have opened a user that will be a mobile device. And we have the mobile application both for Androids and iPhones, and they would log in with the credential that are given through the desktop version.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, because you have to have it open as a user. Otherwise, if he logs in, it should get just the desktop view and not the mobile one.
Okay.
Okay, so we passed here reports, inventory on hand. Inventory on hand is that document that I showed you, the inventory stock list, which breaks down inventory levels based on each warehouse. Low stock, so those are all the items that are below the quantity and they are under purchasing and fulfillment. In our case, we need to buy for all three locations the medication A. So this is the report where you see your low quantities. Fast moving products, slow moving products, non-moving products. Sadly, we don't have those reports. So maybe there is a workaround if you check like the sales order report or the stock by date under inventory or other any section here. When you have these white ones, white tiles, those are the reports. So maybe if we take a look at the stock by day and stock by time, maybe we would be able to see the items. But again, this is not broken down into items, but you can break it into the product categories as far as I can see here, but it's not like based on each SKU. Sales product summary, overview of featured items for a given period. That would be your sales report because that would be your issue report, right? So you go to sales and you have a sales report. You put here the start and end date, and then you, for example, search it either by customer or by item. For example, if I search here for medication A, medication A, it will narrow down the search, and it will sum up here the quantity. And if we go to the right, it will be the price, stock price, etc. I'm not sure whether you will use this in, whether you will track this in the system or not. So this would be where you can control, when you can view that report. Sales report per product, per customer. This is the report that it's really various. So this is the same report that you can use all over and over, and just filter it in different ways. So if I want to see what did I issue in the given period of time to section 1, I would just filter it by this customer. See, it's easy. And per product, the same thing. I already showed you that in here, how you can filter it. So let's say that I want the wallpaper roll. It will narrow down your search of the sales per quantity. Purchase report per supplier and per product. It's the same thing as the sales report, but it's a purchase report. So you go to purchase